Let's dive into Jerry Nadler. Jonathan Turley got my attention with a post he made on Twitter about Nadler's preemptive strike. John Durham is testifying about the FBI's Trump-Russia collusion hoax, one of the greatest hoaxes that has ever been perpetuated upon the American people in the history of America. Hillary was involved. She was in it up to her eyeballs. The DNC, the Democrats, and it plagued Trump's presidency for 4 years. And it was a hoax. It was all a complete sham. And Durham, this special counsel, came to some solid conclusions. And as Jonathan Turley points out, he is largely respected from political members of both sides, from both sides of the aisle. Listen to Jerry Nadler. This is before Durham's opening remarks today on Capitol Hill.
When he could not give Donald Trump evidence of a deep state conspiracy, Mr. Durham gave him the next best thing, a public narrative with Hillary Clinton as the villain. Over the ensuing years, Mr. Durham constructed a flimsy story built on shaky inferences and dog whistles to far-right conspiracy theorists. Although he lost both times, he took a case to trial. By prolonging his investigation, Durham was able to keep Donald Trump's talking points in the news long after Trump left office. With a loose approach to DOJ norms, protecting the reputation of the agency, and a cavalier disregard for the privacy and reputational rights of others, Mr. Durham's investigation operated as headline generator for MAGA Republicans.
Now, Jonathan Turley, in pointing out this disgraceful attack on Durham, says this is consistent with the attacks by Democrats on journalists, former members, and other witnesses coming before Congress to raise concerns over corruption and censorship. Durham said, incidentally, that justice officials were fully aware of accounts that the Clinton campaign was planning to use a Russia collusion scandal to stir up controversy against Donald Trump. He said the FBI ignored those reports. And the fact that the Steele dossier's primary source was viewed as a likely Russian agent. Durham said the FBI decided inextricably not to interview the person who was responsible for conveying many of the most serious allegations. Let's take you back to Capitol Hill. Here is John Durham, the special counsel, testifying before the House Judiciary Committee. These are from his opening remarks earlier today.
As the committee knows, on May 13th, 2019, Attorney General Barr directed me to conduct a preliminary review into certain matters related to federal investigations concerning the 2016 presidential election campaigns. That review subsequently developed into several criminal investigations and gave rise to my subsequent appointment as special counsel in these matters. Many of the most significant issues documented in the report that we have written, including those relating to lack of investigative discipline, failure to take logistical, logical, investigative steps, and bias, are relevant to important national security interests that this committee and American people are concerned about. If repeated and left unaddressed, these issues could result in significant national security risks and further erode the public's faith and confidence in our justice system. As we said in the report, our findings were sobering. And tell you, having spent 40 years plus as a federal prosecutor, they are particularly sobering to me. A number of my colleagues who spent decades in the FBI themselves, they were sobering. While encouraged...
So meanwhile, the Penguin, Nadler, Jerry Nadler, the villainous Penguin from the Batman series, is sputtering and raging away and accusing Durham of being a MAGA Trump stooge, which, as Jonathan Turley points out in his analysis, is a disgraceful, completely destructive load of garbage, considering the respect that Republicans and Democrats have had for John Durham over the years. It's how they roll.